Hello viewers, I'm SB, and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal, where today we are going to embarrass a professional wrestler. I mean, he's not but he is. You all know he is. Come on. Let's just get in here and take the next step. Bonus reward, his mech, which is, like, fine. Honestly, we won't use it, and we don't need it, and it's not going to score any points for us, but flashpoints are always fun. So, this is it. Your Lance versus the Steel Beast, and whatever reinforcements he dares to call. Give him the justice he so richly deserves. Yep, that's what we're here to do. Distribute justice. My feeling on this is that, you know what? His team might be set. I'm thinking, I might remember that his backup has unique mechs. So I probably could have looked this up and figured out what they are, and whether we need to take priority salvage here or not. I suppose. Let me look at the scoring list. So we still need 3 pieces of a Shadowhawk 2D, 1 piece of that Cicada, 2 pieces of the Highlander 733, but obviously we're not going to see one of those. No assault max on a 3 skull. I can't imagine. You know what? We're going to take this as, how much does it hurt to do this? It's not really that much lost money. 11 points of reputation will put us on 59. It's a long run, man. Alright, I think I'm going to take it like this. I do not remember if his backup is any of the mech types that we need. Also, before we go pressing on any further here, you know we have some dark business to attend to. Let's go ahead and attend. And also, I screwed up during last episode, so we do have to use the penance mech, and I guess that's going to be the mech that he thinks we have brought to fight him? Okay, you know how we do. Let's just take out some weapons here. That one is... Gotta destroy an arm holding a weapon on each enemy if possible. It doesn't have to be first, unlike the kneecapper bonus. Okay, let's get in here and smash some stuff up. So, a 3-skull lance that must contain the penance mech. I mean, we got it, right? We could just do this. I think this is what we're doing. I actually really like... I mean, we could swap the blackjack out and bring in, like, the Wolverine instead, if I'm a little worried about the armor. The Wolverine is quite heavily armored. Well, the Wolverine is much more heavily armored than the Hard Light, which is considerably larger. I think maybe that's actually a good play. Does that mean we want to change up our pilots at all? This thing is 2 large lasers and an SRM-6. Does do good range support. It doesn't necessarily... You know what? I think we're fine. I think Foxglove and Sourdough in the mechs that are designed to get kind of close to people, and then we have our 1000 armor Thunderbolt over there. Brass in the Penance mech makes a lot of sense, because the Penance mech overheats like crazy. Yeah, this should be doable. I've never seen the version of this where you agree to just go down there and fight him one-on-one. I assume that he still brings backup, because he just seems like the kind of guy who would do that, and also it's phenomenally dumb not to do it. But I don't know how you would deal with that. Maybe if you decide to go alone, he actually does show up alone? I don't know. It's hard to imagine a reason to show up alone. It's hard to imagine agreeing to do it alone, thinking that he's going... Like, it's hard to imagine believing that he would stick to his word on that, basically. Alright, so we should be able to take this down pretty quickly. We want to make sure we're getting side arc shots. We've chosen some pretty fast mechs for that. I think the Wolverine and the Hard Light, obviously, are very capable of getting in and getting to the side of people. It might be a little trickier with the Thunderbolt and the Penance mech. The Penance mech has to get pretty close to people, which means you don't have to run that far around them to change arcs. Also, I should say, first of all, the voice that I chose for Bogdan the Steel Beast Tubbs physically hurt my throat. And also, I'm recording a little later in the day, and I think, for the sake of my housemates, we're just going to modulate this a little bit. You know what he sounded like, and you can imagine that voice reading these lines. But we're going to go for something a little bit different here. You're here, and look, you've brought friends. You're a liar and a cheat, and you're gonna reap the Steel Beast's whirlwind. See, it's just a little bit different. Oh, shut up and fight, you murderous swine! Commander Corpsington will make you suffer, as you made my nephew Arjun suffer. Suffering? I'll show you suffering! Now come at me!
Some might call
Alright.
this pretty.
We got him. He's easy. He's less scary with the new voice. I mean, that's just true, right? Like, I'm less worried about him now.
Coordinates received.
It's remarkable how effective of a tool that is. The danger that someone poses, the danger that someone seems to pose, is inverse to the degree of nasaliness in their voice.
Coordinates received.
Alright, let's try to fan out so that it's very difficult for him to keep us all on the same side. Penance Mech, unfortunately, has to just take what it can get. So there you go, there's your big steel claw, the BSC-2D. And hey, look at that, what do you know, he had stuff... He had stuff just lying in wait, already in weapons range. So his mech is kind of cool. It has a couple of flamethrowers on it, it has some improved components here, but obviously, it's not exactly terrifying. The real question is, do we even want to do anything now, or do I want to let his dudes advance on us a little bit so they lose their bulwark? I think we can probably go that way. We have our tough mechs up in front.
Roger that. Holding.
And I'm not too worried about taking 2 blasts from flamethrowers here. Wolverine is going to do what we brought it to do. I'm going to let him go too. Let's just get on the other side of his team. Okay, he did not come far enough forward to use the flamethrowers. I was hoping he was going to run all the way out of his cover.
Waiting for orders.
Well, my guess is they're done. Oh, they do have something that moves on too. Interesting.
What can I do for you?
Okay, now we'll go. So, anybody who's not shooting in a side arc needs to strongly think about going for an aimed shot. I think this is probably... Can I... Yes, I can get the side arc while still being in cover. Okay, let's start with this. There's a decent chance this will rip his arm clean off. And there are guns in that arm, right? Yeah, look at that. Look at all the justice we're about to have. Alright, some of that trended low. I mean, listen, we just got to get the arm off. We don't have to take the arm off first. Alright, sounds like somebody misfired something. So they got something moving on 1 back there. I can't imagine it's a mech. We're probably looking at a vehicle that moves on 1, right?
Waiting for orders.
Wolverine presses way up. Oh, really? I can't quite make cover? That's a real shame. Alright, then I'll do this.
Got it.
Shoot into that side arc again. All of a sudden, everybody can hit the legs without me having to aim for them. That is definitely not how this usually works. I think it's safe for me to jump in like this because we have this rock as cover. Yeah, this is going to generate a fair amount of heat. Obviously, I'm not going to bother with the Infernos here.
Engaging.
Boy, I cannot get that arm. Well, that's kind of why I saved up a little bit here. So we're going to move this way so that the Thunderbolt is generally coming at people from a different arc. And we're going to go for that arm this way. There we go. Justice has been done. Also, my dude is looking a little bit wobbly.
Possible hostile on sensors.
Something that moves on 4 with an LRM-10, huh? What's the weight class on that? 30? Is there a cicada that packs an LRM-10? Or maybe it's a pair of 5s? You know what? There's a Locust design that packs a pair of 5s, I think. I'm just gonna do this. That shouldn't put anybody in my back arc, I don't think. So he's got a 60 and a 55. And I don't think we need to do anything fancy here. I think that leg's probably gonna go, and even if the leg doesn't go, the SRM-6 knocks him down either way. He's done for.
Got it.
Yeah, he's not getting back up. Now we just gotta hope that we can burn him out with our next action here, because I would love to remove their vision.
Orders.
The Penance Mech, unfortunately, very unlikely to be able to finish the job. I think I'm going to move forward. I'm going to stay in the shadow of the rock. Yeah, there's no way for us to get him in one. So maybe I don't even want to move the Penance Mech at all yet. Let's maintain the 3 evasion for the moment. We'll try to finish him off with somebody who's actually capable of doing the job.
What can I do for you?
Like the Warhammer.
Moving out.
This should be basically guaranteed with all the support weapons and everything.
Confirmed.
God, that's so many lasers. It's just so much energy damage. What a fun design for a
I
mech.
hear ya.
Okay, and then we do have... I mean, its Penance Mech moves up. Ooh, I can get actual vision, huh? Hold on, let's reserve down then. Let's let whatever it is they have on one move. Oh, it is a real mech. It's an 80-ton. That might be the weight of a Highlander. I actually don't remember. And then, yeah, I'm gonna, at the risk of maybe putting myself in a real awkward position here, I'm gonna jump up to here where I just barely have vision of that guy. And then we're gonna sensor lock somebody else just to get some readings going here. I guess if we're gonna just put some random damage on something, probably the 80-ton is the thing to...
I've got a sensor lock.
It's an 8Q, so that's the 3 PBCs one, right? Yeah, not exactly a terrifying foe. Well,
What do you want, you, Commander?
so there's no version of this where I get direct fire, but we do get to put 35 LRMs into something.
Got it.
I mean, I guess it's the Griffin. I'm not really terrified of the Awesome. That's not a very good mech of its size. The armor is quite thin, and I mean, like, as much as the Awesome 8Q is not a great design, the Griffin might be a worse design. Look at the very, very low damage yield on this thing. Yeah, let's just go for this. Let's just start the work. I believe that mech is asymmetrical. I think there are 2 PPCs on the right side instead of there being one right, one left, one center. So the fact that our shots drifted right a little bit there might actually be really good for us. Do I want to just like commit super deep on this? I guess for right now I'm leaving the Penance Mech just kind of out in front of everything, which is not ideal. I'm going to jump in here.
Jump jet.
This is going to make ourselves very obvious to these dudes. Ooh, that's bad news. I do not like that thing having Bulwark up. So we could go for the Griffin, or we could just try to burn through this thing regardless of the Bulwark. I mean, even a 60%. He's only on 40, right? Yeah, he has guarded and Bulwark, but no cover. So he's on 40% damage reduction. A lucky hit to the head with a large laser is a kill.
Aye, aye.
Didn't get there.
I think I hit something good.
We are opening up the arm, though. You know, justice must be done. Okay, I think the way the Griffin moved, it's going to be not too hard to get in on his soft side here, the side that has all the guns on it, I should say.
Moving out.
Let's do that. We may as well hit him with the Infernos, and I'm going to spend Precision Strike, even though it's maybe not ideal, just because our hit chance is so bad. Brass still only has like 4 or 5 points of gunnery, so...
Scored a critical hit.
Okay, you know what? I'm counting that as a justice shot. We didn't kill the arm that has the weapon in it, but we did kill the weapon.
Waiting for orders.
That's even more justice. That's more justice than was required. Great work, everyone.
On my way.
You are definitely getting these. Come on. Aw. Oh, nope, large laser destroyed. Is that in the arm? Hold on, is that in the arm or in the torso? We did it.
Receiving you.
Justice has been brought. So we still have 2 enemies left that we gotta get some work done on here, but I'm feeling pretty confident about it at this point. I wish that I had Precision Strike available. I think without Precision Strike we have to move forward and fire at one of these 2 rather than killing that Javelin.
On it.
And I'm assuming we're gonna need to coolant vent? Yeah. Alright. This guy is definitely the more dangerous of these two.
Target acquired.
Did I seriously manage to not destroy even a single part of his body?
Critical hit.
What terrible shooting. Just managed to spread all of those PPC projectiles over every part of him evenly. Fortunately, he retaliates 0. 0% retaliation achieved.
Come on, mech warriors.
And then he
It's
runs
time.
forward. Can you imagine the hubris? Okay, so is the awesome... Am I right about this? Are there 2 PPCs on this side? Yes. Can we jump deep enough? No, the Wolverine actually doesn't have super good jets. So we could put the jets on, or we could just... See, I could move up to here, and I can't fire into anybody's side arc. This is pretty awkward. I think I'm going to move to here, and we're just going to shoot at this guy, see if we can't actually remove some parts.
Target confirmed.
There we go. One of the AC-5's gone. Here's a good
Critical
start.
hit, Commander.
A Javelin is not a terrible design for a mech of its size. It's an LRM-15. Yeah, that's not bad, man. Well, do we want to just overheat the Griffin, or I think what I'd like to do is try to overheat this guy. If I jump way deep over here, we still have range on everything. We're firing into that arc, so we'll probably get the arm. And coolant vent should make this work. Yeah, just produces exactly the same amount of heat that we lose. Oof. The constant missing with the PPC does really suck.
That's going to hurt.
Oh, and that wasn't a shutdown, huh? That's a shame. I mean, he's not going to be able to fire very much. Did he just... He wasn't actually able to lose enough heat to get past the mark on the bar, so he took heat damage to all of his parts again, and his arm melted off. That's actually super metal. That's like extremely cool that that happened. I'm so pleased. I'm just gonna...
You betcha.
I'm just gonna precision strike this dude's arm. The PPC is damaged, not destroyed.
Special delivery.
Justice has not yet been done. There we go. And also, he's just way less of a robot now. We took off a ton of his heat sinks there. So even though we did lower his maximum heat generation per volley, we also made him so bad at sinking heat. Like, it's so easy to make a mech with PPCs unable to fire its primary weapons most of the time. PPCs suck. Alright, do you have a weapon in a hand? No, you don't. In fact, okay, so the only way we can attempt to do any kind of justice at all on this guy is to hit him from right here. We'll go ahead, we'll give him what we can to the weapon location.
Confirmed.
There we go. We killed him, but we destroyed the weapon first, and that is what justice is all about. Delaying murder very slightly until you feel justified about it.
Do this. Let's go.
Alright, Wolverine. Punch this rifleman until his whole everything comes off. We do 70 damage with a hit, so even if it hits the leg, it'll still go clean through. The only way this doesn't work is if I miss.
Targeting for physical attack.
Boom. And unfortunately, our 3 points priority salvage totally wasted on this one. Another reason, aside from the fact that I want to feel secure, another reason that I'm taking getting these mech parts done so seriously is that once we're done with them, we can stop taking priority salvage and getting totally screwed on it.
Roll to that.
Alright, that's gotta shut him down. Yep, okay. Well, mission all over. I'm surprised they were able to field an 80. It's because they were all 25% armor. That really reduces the threat budget of bringing a mech of that size.
Got it.
dude is thoroughly disarmed. 100% disarmed. And then I punched him with all of the small lasers. I don't really like hitting him on that side, though. Let's get him in the back armor.
Putting my weight.
This mech looks pretty cool, I have to say. I really like the visual design of all of the stuff that they added with the expansions.
Target neutralized.
And I know that that's not like... It's not like, hey, they figured out how to design really cool-looking battle mechs, because they are not responsible for the visuals on most of these. Well, you know, okay, so there's a thing that happens... There's a thing in BattleTech that I don't have a lot of knowledge of. And people who are hearing about this for the first time might think that this is super weird. You should look up, if you're not familiar, all the weirdness with the rights to the mechs in BattleTech, because it's a longer and weirder history than you might think. But there's a group of mechs known as the Unseen, I think, that are like mentioned in an early version of the rulebook. Like they use mech designs that are stolen from Macross or something. And so, while they were able to keep the rules for the mechs in future editions, they weren't able to ever use the artwork again, or something like that. It's a big, weird, complicated thing. So it might be the case that some of the reason that we now have a bunch of cool-looking new mechs is that their designs were so cool that they were stolen in the first place. Alright, scratch one steel beast. He had it coming, I have to say. And you delivered it to him. I salute you, Commander. Prost! Yeah, of course he's drinking. Of course, he's sitting there watching me commit murder on his behalf and drinking. You know, the thing about all of our contacts are they're so classy. Thing is about... Our contacts are not classy, is where I was trying to... I Englished it real bad. I did a bad English. Anything that I care about at all. There's a ballistic targeting system, but it's only +1. Well, you know, it being +1 means it only weighs 1 ton. So we're actually a lot more likely to be able to get it into a design. And then, like, the piece of the awesome is the most valuable piece of salvage here, and I guess we take this crappy laser that we'll never use? Hard to imagine we'll get any benefit out of any of this garbage. I suppose what I should probably do is figure out which weapons and common components are the most valuable, one for one, because right before the game ends, we're going to sell every component that we own to convert them into C-bills, because every C-bill that we earn over the course of the campaign is worth a fraction of a point. Very impressive, Commander Corpsington. Your lance absolutely crushed Tubbs, both physically and metaphorically. My nephew's untimely death has been avenged. Well, I'm sure that's going to make him feel so much better. We were pleased to be of service, Graf Stieglitz Bradford. Bloodthirsty fools like Tubbs give all mech warriors a bad name. Well, not anymore, my friend. You and your company have solved that problem admirably. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have family matters to attend to on Tharkad. Arjun had a son whose affairs must be seen to, and now that honor has been satisfied, the duty falls on my shoulders. Yes, you're a very altruistic man. We all believe that. Okay. Got ourselves a big steel claw, which is fun. And then we go find another planet to do stuff on. Also, 900,000 C-bills. So, a +2 resolve gain comm system. That's a useful thing. An arm mod that's plus damage instead of plus stability damage might actually get used. I think we have a less effective arm mod than this in the Dragonfly, so that might be a thing we plug in. We got ourselves a Frankenmech. Looks like a crab, but on the inside it's at least a quarter Irby. That's where the new ballistic mounting hardware comes from. So I think the Big Steel Claw has a different amount of internal storage space and different hardpoints than a normal crab does. And I really wish they had done more of this, because I think it's super cool to find weird, unique mechs that have cool combinations of hardpoints and stuff. Unfortunately, they only went to that well maybe the once. I mean, they did it in larger, more replicable ways with like the Avenging Angel, Vindicator, and stuff. So I guess I can't complain. Let's check out the Dragonfly right now and see if we want to change out the arm mod, because I will forget about this if we don't do it immediately. In fact, I'm surprised I remembered it for as long as I did there. And then we are going to have to develop a new plan. So yeah, the arm mod we have in here is plus 15 melee damage. It looks like it's maybe a ton different. It's pull that, throw this in there, and then we'll just drop a heatsink, probably. I definitely don't think I want to... Well, I was going to say I definitely don't think I want to drop a jump jet, but maybe I do? No, that can't be right. Right? We could drop a medium laser. The thing is, if we drop a heatsink, we're almost never going to be able to fire all the weapons anyway. Maybe that's exactly what we do. We cut a laser. Hold on. What's the Alpha Strike damage at right now? When it goes big, it goes 208. But that's assuming that we're close enough to hit all the flamethrowers. Because the flamethrowers do, what, 30 damage altogether? It's 5 damage each. Oh, no. This flamethrower is a plus damage flamethrower, not a plus heat flamethrower. That's super weird. I didn't even realize they came in plus damage. Okay, so it's 35 then, in total. And it's just a normal medium laser. Did we not have medium laser pluses when I built this thing? We should probably fix... This whole design is all screwy. Okay, for sure we're pulling all of the medium lasers and replacing them. We have no other jobs to do on this this world. I did all of the non-Flashpoint stuff before before starting recording yesterday. So we're definitely doing at least this. And then do we want to throw another medium laser on there, or am I... It's already basically as effective as it was. Let's just make it a little bit more heat efficient, because we often have this piloted by a guy who doesn't have coolant vent, so I think that's reasonable. It's entirely possible that we have a bunch of mechs that don't have the best versions of their parts in them because we built them before we had the better stuff, and we could go through all of them one by one and figure that out. But that you're probably getting from the sound of my voice what I think about that. So, what do we have? What calls to us here? We do have a flashpoint over there. Clough stand. There's no rep at stake here, it looks like. It is 1 million C-bills. What's the C-bills to points conversion rate? 10,000 C-bills is 1 point. So that's, I mean, it's not a lot of points over there, but it's also not none. And we need to move toward an area where we're going to get our reputations sorted. So, what's nearby that has what we need? I guess nearby is not... What we're actually looking for is what is within a decent travel distance. Because remember, those are not the same thing. Honestly, Paia might not be horrible. Has Capellan and Canopian rep on it, potentially. 2.5 skulls. So where are we at on the kinds of missions we can take for people? If we were going to try to push our Capellan reputation up, we're limited to 3 skulls with them. We're indifferent with the Magistracy, so that's the same. And then with the Lyrans, we're all the way... Okay, we're not all the way up yet. We could take 4.5s with the Lyrans. I think, since we ended up moving so far north here, I think the plan is going to be to continue up into the corner, and then we'll come down here and end the thing down there instead. So we probably just want to fly toward Lyran space, right? We want to fly to a place where there are Lyran missions available. Okay, so all 3 of these worlds have Lyran stuff. This also has Magistracy. We could work against Davian, potentially. 3.5 skulls. This might be the right one. This might be the place. I'd prefer to go to a thing that's actually 3, so that we could take Magistracy or Canopian missions. Or, yeah, that's the same thing. Canopian or Capellan missions, be they present. But there are places on the northern edge of Capellan space that have Lyran planet or Lyran rep, don't they? Yeah, we could go visit Sean. You know, our old friend Sean. You gotta remember, our pirate rep is all the way negged out, so black markets are not as useful for us as they used to be. We have a massive cost penalty there. I think we fly to here. It's 28 days, which I don't love. That's a pretty big portion of our remaining time, but we gotta start working on this Lyran rep. Okay, so if that's the plan, let's make sure that before we go, we have checked the store. Make sure there's not anything relevant for us to buy. Cicada 2A, not the one we need. There's some Infernos here, which might be worth buying, maybe? Oh, right. There's a black market. Let's take a look. 12 million for a single Annihilator part. That's... look at these prices. To be perfectly honest with you, if I saw a piece of a mech that we needed that we could afford, I still might buy it. This is one of the mechs we still need. We definitely can't buy a whole one. I'd at least think about it. I don't know if we'd take it, but I would think about it. Man, this is expensive stuff. Wow. A -3 tons UAC 10. That is a compelling piece of gear. I was really hoping. I saw UAC 10++, and I was like, oh my god, please have plus damage on you. -3 tons. Yo, do I want to spend almost 6 million C-bills on this? No, I don't think so. For a gun? I mean, it's a very good gun. It's a compelling gun, but I don't think we need to do that. The way that the scoring thing works for C-bills, it's just you get points for any C-bills that you have earned in any way over your entire career. So, we don't need to hold on to money for score directly, but any money held is kind of worth score in an indirect way at the end of the game, because we'll be able to buy stuff with it and then sell that stuff. So if we say had 10,000 C-bills and we bought $10,000 worth of SRM2s, and then we sold the SRM2s for another 2,000 C-bills, we would score for 12,000 C-bills off of that, right? So it is a good idea not to waste your money, because you can, at a very expensive rate, convert it into additional money and thus additional score. So we don't have any other mech changes that we really need to make. I think we just start flying. I think we got it. I think we figured out what we want to do. It is going to be a bit of a flight.
Course now, Commander.
And I'm a little nervous that, like, we're going to get most of the way there, and then the next step of the Dobrev thing is going to pop. Okay, yes, the Lyrans love you. Unexpected debris. In navigation, Sumeri highlights a blinking red alert in the Argo's path. We got some space junk in our way, Commander. Permission to blast it to dust with the Leopard? Debris, Dr. Murad corrects her. I recommend that we attempt to avoid it. Otherwise, you risk sending the debris in unexpected directions. You could damage our most vital systems and bays. Sumeri rolls her eyes. The Argo isn't exactly an agile ship. I mean, I'm good, but she's never going to turn on a dime. We've got about 5 minutes, roughly. And we need a decision, Commander. Well, why don't we just go real fast? I'm sure that'll solve our problem, as it solves all problems. The Argo lurches forward dangerously as Dr. Murad manages to squeeze some extra thrust from the power conduits. Sumeri wrestles with the control panel, but the Argo veers unpredictably close to the debris. Metal shrieks. Before she can correct course, jagged wreckage scrapes across the hull. After the Argo reaches a safe distance, Dr. Murad reports into navigation over the comms. While some scrap metal got caught in the debris shield, the collision didn't damage any major components. I'll run a full diagnostic to be sure. I used every trick I know to get us through that mess in one piece. You just drove the ship forward, come on. Everything's fine. I picked the option with the blue text. Everything was gonna be okay.
That work order you submitted is complete.
Every day of travel that we complete without the Dobrev thing lighting up makes me more and more nervous, because it's gotta come up again, right? We're certainly not done with that Flashpoint campaign. I wish I had understood that that's why it was a different color, and I'm sure somebody yelled at me about it in the comments. I didn't read that comment. If it did indeed happen, apparently I didn't read it, but you know. I have, at some points during this campaign, been a little bit flaky about reading the comments. Listen, I just got a lot going on, you know? It would have been very inconvenient for us to go and get anyway. We would have had to fly, like, all the way across the map, because we've spent so much time in Capellan space. I guess that's another good reason not to spend a huge amount of time in Capellan space. So how much time do we have left? 13 days? So most of the time on this travel is actually travel time, not like not slowing down in a planet's gravity well time, you know. A black market shakedown. As Darius enters the morning briefing room, he slams the door behind him. The pirates are mad at us for being asked to pay another membership fee. I think I'm going to pay. Even though it totally sucks to just throw 2.5 million C-bills away, especially for the reasons that I just illuminated, we really, really can't afford to be in a place where we could have bought an important mech part, but we didn't have access to the thing. This may just literally be throwing 2.5 million C-bills away. But we need to retain access to all of the shops because we still need a lot of mech parts. And it looks like the Dobrev thing is just not going to pop up again. I'm concerned, growing increasingly concerned, that I may have started that late enough that we won't get to see the end of it before the campaign is over. I mean, no big deal. It would be cool to see a new kind of gun. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. New flashpoint added in New Valis. That might not actually be a new flashpoint. It's entirely possible that that's just a thing that expired and then repopped. I wasn't paying enough attention. Alright, let's see what we have here. Let's start by visiting the store. Although really, we shouldn't buy any mech parts because we should do the missions on the planet and then, you know, we might encounter the things that we would buy. So it looks like this is pretty basic. Yeah, nothing terribly exciting here. We do not need the Centurion 9AL part. We totally did finish our Centurion 9AL. So, no luck. Let's see what jobs. I really, really hope there's some good Lyran work here, because we need it desperately. There are a lot of points on the line with managing our reps correctly. Oh wow, not a single job from the Lyrans. That sucks hugely. So we need to make absolutely sure we get 2 more factions to the minimum or maximum. Obviously, it would be best to max them out, but faction reputation completion at the very least has to get finished. Well, this sucks. Let's go ahead and just jump out to a different planet, I guess. Where's New Valis? Down here? Red Hunt for the Draconis Combine? Aw, man, there's Lost Tech down there. Also, that's not even New Valis. That's a different place. Is one of these New Valis? That's Merlin. Shaunavon. Was just copying Sean. There's New Valis. Yeah, so okay, that's not a flashpoint we need to think about. I guess we just jump to... Oh, man, another 16 or 17 days of travel. Yeesh. Alright, let's go to the further one, I guess, so that way we can be flying back after this. It's only 1 extra day of travel. That sucks, though. This is a lot of lost time. It's possible that we're not going to score all that well here because I wanted to go out of our way to make sure that we got the Capellan Alliance flashpoint. And we did some good archival work there. Again, there was no evidence of the Capellan Alliance flashpoint existing on the internet anywhere that I could find. So it's good that we made a recording of it. But I think it's looking like it's going to end up hurting us pretty bad in the long run. So we'll fly out to here, fingers crossed for some Lyran missions. If there aren't any here, we can fly back to the world that was 16 days of travel. Obviously, it's going to be more than 1 day to travel between the two of them, which is crummy. But we don't have a lot of options here. Alright, fingers crossed, everyone. Fingers, toes, whatever you got. Alright, Sumire, show us the store. Exciting stuff, right? Good exciting stuff. No mech parts at all. There is a UAC-10. We already have a UAC-10 that I believe we have a UAC-10 that's not even plugged into anything, so not a good start. Fingers crossed again. Recrossinate. Oh my god, the suspense. I cannot handle this. Comstar, upgrade your relays, please. One mission. Well, we have to take it. And we have to take it at max reputation, probably. 3.5 skulls, though. It could have good stuff. It could have, like, actually relevant loot. And it will lower our Free Worlds League rep, which is already sub-0, so this is good. This is a good job. It's not a good amount of jobs for all of the flying we just did, but it is a good job. Alright, well, we're not taking any money. The money to points conversion is bad enough. So this would be 14. It's worth remembering that even if we don't get all the way to our completion points, each point of rep is worth a significant number of points. Like significantly more than 1 point, right? Yeah, each point of rep away from 0 is 100 score. This is going to take us to exactly 80. Okay, so we can't take more than 2 pieces of priority salvage. It's a really good idea for us to get up to honored so that we could take 5 skulls if 5 skulls exist. So I guess we'll take it at 2.9. We could bring this down and end up at 83 instead. And then it is at least possible that we'd be able to do 1 job and max out. We will not be able to from 80. I don't think you can get 20 reputation on a single job. Well, okay, we can take... This would put us at 81? Yeah, 81. I think we have to take it as 0-3 just so that we don't have to keep hunting for Lyran missions. That sucks, but the odds of us seeing a mech that we actually want pieces of are so low anyway. Of course, now that we've taken 0 priority salvage, there will be one. And, let us not forget our most important duty. Here in Lyran space, we must show the Lyrans the glory, the beauty and the glory of the Blood Wheel beneath our heels. That's a tough one. We gotta stomp on some enemies here. You know what? I might go ahead and use a difficulty modifier again on this. My concern is that this one inflicts enough damage on us that it might be really hard to go at it with an even difficulty squad. What if we... Hold on. What if we do like this? Oh, we get a 3.5 skull, actually, so... we could run this. The hard light is not an ideal mech. Maybe we could... Can I go this high? Yeah, look at that. The Penance mech doesn't have great leg armor. The Thunderbolt doesn't have jump jets. So if we try this, we have to be relatively certain that we're going to get an actual step on the enemy melee attack. It's not impossible. And I think I actually really like the Penance mech in a lunar biome. Like, we go full heat strats. I might even like these pilots for this job. Yeah, I think I do. Alright, we're going to try it like this. The Thunderbolt's going to have to actually melee attack a downed enemy at some point in order for this to work, so this is risky. We may find ourselves unable to finish the job, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it exactly like this. I am a little concerned that, if I'm honest, the fact that the Penance mech is actually kind of working out, that it turns out Infernos are actually pretty effective, means that I'm not so afraid to disobey the Blood Wheel. At least not in-game afraid. Obviously, the nightmares, the nosebleeds, the constantly hacking up tiny pins, all that stuff's bad. But in terms of, BattleTech, it's not so bad. Y'all ever just dream of an infinite forest? Being lost forever in an infinite forest? The sound of that That infernal spinning. Nah, probably not. Who would dream of that? So what are we even doing here? Within the last 3 worlds, it's a battle. We just shoot some guys. Got it. If they want us to show military strength, we can show military strength. Darius, ain't that the truth?
Command interface initiated.
I do really like the look of the lunar biome maps. I don't even know how many maps there actually are.
Hey, look! Rocks.
Tirefire making the point that they're kind of hard to tell apart, if we're being honest.
Confirmed.
I think that was Tirefire and not Sourdough, right? Yeah, that was definitely Tirefire. I like her. I think she's sort of the heart of our company. I feel like we've used her a ton. The Thunderbolt does need to be up front because we need to try to secure that stomp as early as possible.
Heading your way.
You've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. How do you know these are reinforcements? How do you know these aren't the initial enemies? These are the first guys we've seen. Ooh, and they move on too. Okay, Phoenix Hawk, not a mech that particularly wants to be in a poor heat-sinking environment. That's a good sign for us. So Sourdough can run forward and get us a little bit of vision. What does this terrain do again? Do I not? I don't get a mouse over unless I have, there we go. You have to have a movement into it available. So +4 difficulty to hit units standing in the radiation field, but it makes the mech generate more heat, which obviously is a real problem in this biome. Okay, that's interesting. I think I'm going to have you just walk forward. We're only losing 1 point of evasion by doing this. And obviously, the heat difference makes a difference. And I only get to fire 1 weapon anyway, so I guess I'll just do a normal shot on the dragon. Okay, went to the leg. That's a real good start.
Yes, Commander.
Do we maybe... I think I'm going to reserve you, though. I should maybe have just reserved down and let the dragon come forward before trying to do anything, to be perfectly honest with you.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Because we had way more evasion available to us. I think I'm gonna... So it's a 65. The dragon itself isn't super terrifying. I think we can afford to reserve down. Okay, so there's at least one thing that moves on Initiative 2 that we're not seeing. It might just have been that one. That might have been 2 mechs worth of time. I'm not actually sure. Ouch. Okay, catapult's a high priority.
Heavy damage.
Yeah, that's a lot of output. And of course, we got to remember that we got to close on these dudes quickly because we have to get these stomps in as early as possible so that we make sure we are good. I do love the paint job on that dragon. Hold on a second. Look at that thing. It's like if orcs owned a battle mech. It's beautiful. It's not, I mean, it's almost a shame to rip it in half.
Hear ya.
Almost. It's so close. I'm so close to having feelings about it. Well... I mean, killing the catapult's got to be a priority. I think we're
You betcha.
going to not worry particularly about getting a stomp off on the catapult. Each one of my mechs needs to stomp. It is not the case that each of the enemies must be stomped. Oof, these guys are full armor too, huh? Catapult. Catapult is a scary thing. So jump way in.
Commander.
Penance mech has to also continue closing rapidly. Is there... I'm not going to be able to... Okay, one enemy actually is in range of the Infernos. He has no heat right now, but if we were to actually tag him with them... No, that's not realistic. I think I'm just going to run really deep with the Penance mech. If we were to get Inferno heat on somebody, it would be very difficult for them to lose it all, which is definitely, like, compelling. I think I'm going to jump you way in. You're going to absorb a turn of fire just standing in front of everybody. And... are we going to precision strike the catapult? Because if we could break one of the torso sections off, it'd be a pretty big deal. I think I should.
Target locked in.
Okay, not bad. Yes. All right,
Okay,
that's a big
something
deal.
good.
How much does he still have? 2 ammo bins left? Yeah, so we can't ammo limit him without blowing up the missile launchers anyway.
Waiting for orders.
I feel like that's true of most mech designs. Like, taking out the ammo is almost never valuable from a perspective of disabling guns, because you almost always have to remove the part that has the gun in order to get the ammo out anyway. You're pretty close to being able to do some stompy stuff. I think for right now, let's just
Confirmed.
run over here. We suspect there are probably 2 lances, so we don't want to fire our narc beacon on an enemy that we don't need it on. And he's close enough to losing his LRMs that I think we can skip him. And I'm gonna aim for this.
Target acquired.
Oh, I do not like that I missed. Okay, cool.
Critical
So
hit,
he is
Commander.
a lot less dangerous than he used to be. And now he's going to have to run up close to us to use any of his weapons, which means more opportunity for stompies. So that's what all the hardcore pro mech jockeys call him. You'd see, what's his name, Tubbs' famous book, Time for Stompies. Tales of a mech warrior on the edge. I think I'm going to give this guy a volley with the Infernos. They're not likely to hit, but every one of them that does hit is a big deal. Okay, was that 2? Yeah, it was 2. That's crummy.
Good to go.
2 of 8 is definitely lower than I was expecting there. Or 2 of 6, I guess. So yeah, 2 of 6, it's not. That's not off of expected value really at all. Okay, you need to keep closing on people, because you need to be prepared to deliver the kick. I think we want to just run up and shoot at the dragon here. Unfortunately, I think that side doesn't have any like particularly strong weaponry on it, right? Oh, well, his LRM ammo's over there. Is that all of his LRM ammo? It is. So hey,
Yes, boss.
look at that. As soon as I got finished saying you usually can't put together a way of damaging an enemy or removing an enemy's armor, all of a sudden it's not true. Do I want to just stomp this guy? I think I'm gonna have him go for a stomp on the Phoenix Hawk. We'll land in here. This is the side that the large laser's on, right? Yeah. We'll land in here. We'll give him the flamethrowers. That'll probably turn him off.
Engaging jump jet.
And then we have heat problems.
Took a hard hit there.
But we can just have this mech run around punching people if it comes right down to it. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping that we'd break his leg. But it'll do. Yep, and there's the other lance. That was a 15 at least, right? I think it was a 15. Wow, that's a lot of accidental hits there. Good line of fire. 2 lances at once can definitely be a problem. You can often
Minimal damage on that hit.
fight 2 or even 3 lances worth of enemies in succession, but fighting them all at once can be a real problem. Seriously? This never ends with you assholes. Alright, so
Commander.
we have an opportunity here. Oh, he moves on 3 though, so if we knock him down, he still moves on 2. But if I use an aimed shot to knock him down, then he'll stay down until 1 and we'll be able to get the stomp, right? So who does it make sense to do this with? So we really don't want to do it with you, because I want to use you to turn off the quick draw. So, yeah, it's got to be the boombox, even though this feels pretty bad.
Aye, aye.
I guess this gives me an opportunity to recover some heat. Alright, so let's aim shot for your arm. I really, really, really don't want to run the risk of accidentally killing him, but I guess that's not realistic. There's no way I'm going to accidentally kill him.
Affirmative.
Just make sure he goes down. So that gives me a stomp. And then you, like I said, can just go and turn this idiot off. Where do I want you positioned? Because this matters quite a bit. I guess I'm still in a position here where I can be pretty aggressive. Ooh, I hate how hard it is to hit people with infernos. Okay, we can't get better than that by getting closer. So I guess this is the shape of it. So we're expecting 3 hits at 45 total heat generation, which is still enough to make a difference. We probably have to turn off the PPC. Maybe it's best to turn off both of the real weapons. Okay, 3 hits. No big surprise. Still pretty good. He's not turned off, but he has to be real careful on his turn. And we're probably going to have to do something about that in the near future. Alright, you must take this opportunity. It might never come up again. It's a good opportunity to burn some heat as well.
Moving to position.
Alright, so that's 2 of our mechs now have gotten their stomps in. Hit his leg. That's maybe the worst spot that could have gone. The Dragonfly could run up and actually turn this guy off, but I don't know that I want to, honestly. Maybe what I want to do instead is punch this dude in his back armor with my new and improved punching arm and also overheat him real bad. And 130 damage for a punch. That's pretty good. Nice. So punched his autocannon clean off his body and then shut him down. Still has 93 center torso structure. But that's good use of the flamethrowers. We are running out of flamethrower ammunition with remarkable speed. Okay, that's 30 to 40 missiles there. Might be another catapult. Definitely gotta make some stuff happen here. Okay, so they brought a lance that is designed to not actually engage with combat. Which means we have to burn these guys out fast. They have to lose their vision of us, or we're going to lose.
Reporting. Minimal damage.
I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and they'll run out of ammo. With the heat that it takes to fire that many LRMs, we might be able to just... It might be the case that they can't volley like that very frequently. So I am inclined to go for a jumping kill here. I think it's extremely likely that... Well, it's somewhat likely that we get it. Extremely is definitely overselling it. That's the only spot I can try it from? Really? Because if we hit his side, or if we hit his leg, the attack will choose from right leg, center torso, side torso, and arm. If we hit any of those upper 3, it's a kill. If we hit the leg, it does no meaningful damage at all. But maybe we should... You know what? We can probably wait on getting this one off. Let's just start killing people. People gotta die. How about you're only at 80 center torso health? We can make that. We can make that disappear for sure.
On the move. Target lock on enemy.
Yeah, the bots that still need to get their stomps off will have to get their stomps off against the other group, because this is
Receiving you.
a desperate situation. It's an increasingly desperate situation. So I think what we're going to have to do here is use a leap to change direction while traveling here so that we can get some meaningful damage done. I guess it's probably ideal if we can get the back armor of that guy while turning around. But obviously, it's important also that I don't show my back armor to these other dudes. 113, so I can't get a kill no matter how I do it. But we could give him the Infernos. Can I just walk that? Yeah, I could totally just walk that. Alright. What can I fire? I'm assuming I can't turn on the PPC safely. Oh, well. Do I want to use the PPC? Because if we can't kill him anyway, if I'm just softening him up, maybe it's not worth the extra heat. Because he's going to overheat off of this anyway. It's not like the sensor debuff is going to matter. So yeah, I think I'll leave that off. Okay, cool. Yeah, if we could have kept everything on, the PPC would have been meaningful, but since we were going to have to turn one thing or the other off, it ends up not mattering much. Alright, hopefully you can tank out one more round of extreme LRM fire. Thunderbolt moves to here, and maybe intentionally shows the back armor? No, that's probably stupid. I was thinking, like, how could we get them to shoot at us? He's not a threat. He's not an immediate threat anyway. Can we kill the quick draw? No, the quick draw is actually not very damaged. I could do this thing and try to drill from behind. That might be lethal. We do have coolant vent, so we get to fire everything.
Up high.
The thing is, I think we have to turn off the flamethrowers, right? So I think we need to save some of this for the other half of the battle.
Target lock on rear arm.
Okay, that's not too bad. That was some meaningful damage. We could have just turned him off, but I don't think that that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good use of our turn. So let's prevent you from having a turn. This is... you don't get to shoot. Thing is, I want to kind of put the... wait, don't run through the heat zone. I want this mech to be a little bit more attractive of a target for the long-range guys. Alright, reasonable chance of a kill here.
All weapons are full.
Okay, I think we're controlling it. So both of the up-close mechs are potentially a single attack away from death. Okay, good. The long-range enemies are spreading their shots out now. I'm assuming that if this is, in fact, a lance that contains 2 catapults, they're probably both pretty low. It's probably a pretty low armor lance, so I bet it won't take too much to kill them. Ooh, interesting. Interesting choice.
I'm showing minor damage.
Battle mech power-up detected.
We can do this! Let's go!
Okay, should be no problem to finish these guys off, right? Oh, except you can't get into the back arc of either of them.
Awaiting orders.
Alright, your deal is absolutely... Boy, what is your deal, absolutely? This guy has 64 center torso health. That guy has 49. It's like pretty awkward, actually. Okay, I think we want to... Oh, I just can't hit him from where I'm standing. Rotation is not the issue. There's a robot in the way. I think maybe I just coolant vent and go for it. So we can't kill him with just the medium laser and the small laser. And if we get close... If we get close and we overheat him again... Yeah, how much... These do 2 damage on each hit? I don't think we do have to fire the PPC. I think we can save the heat. Yeah, we got him. That is enough damage. And 4 volleys of Infernos is probably enough to finish off the remaining enemy lance. So because you can't hit this guy in the back, I don't think you do any damage to him at all, really, so you just run forward and brace. That's how you get your bulwark. Okay, they divide their shots again, which is lovely, and now the Dragonfly finishes off that guy, and all of a sudden, we have a one-on-one. Might even be kind of a fair fight, depending on how bad their armor is.
Heading out.
Okay, we will absolutely coolant vent for this. This needs to go right.
Putting one in the back.
Okay, that looks good. So we have not yet seen any evidence of them having sensor lock, but that doesn't mean they don't, because they also haven't needed it until now. And the Penance Mech and the Orion still need to get their stomps. Well, I wonder how far back they've been sitting.
Yes, Commander.
You gotta make sure that the Orion and the Penance Mech make it up to kind of a frontal position, but I do also want to be wary of the amount of damage we've taken to the frontal armor of this thing.
Reporting.
Oh, we have readings? Aha. So what are we looking at here? 60, 65, so those are the catapults most likely. Penance Mech needs to approach with its right side. And we'll just go ahead and brace here. Oh, they're gonna have to walk around, I think. I don't think catapults... Do catapults have jump jets in their default configuration? I don't think they do. Yeah, I think they're gonna walk all the way over to here. Which is actually pretty great for us. That is a location where we can control line of sight really well.
Double time.
So let's rush it. We definitely have an advantage in close range. And the Thunderbolt is actually still in great shape. The Thunderbolt and the Dragonfly both are still in really great shape.
It's go time.
I think we definitely want to reserve past them
Roger
here.
that. Standing by.
So they have a 70 as well. This is a big lance. What is this? What is this thing they're doing?
Waiting for orders.
I mean, we could go over there and just, like, peek down. I mean, I guess they can come around this way. That's a lot of extra travel. And it looks like they don't have sensor lock and we do. So
Waiting for orders.
that would definitely suggest that this is kind of a stupid play on their part.
Awaiting orders.
Alright, so Brass moves forward. Brass does not need to get super close to the enemies. She's got... Oh no, sorry, she is one of the people who needs to still get a stomp, right? It was the Dragonfly and the Thunderbolt that got theirs already. But still, let's sensor lock. Let's try to take out some of these LRMs, right?
I've got a sensor lock. Good to go.
Yeah, unfortunately they're all going to have Bulwark forever, because they're just gonna half move and then brace. So we are gonna have to work through a lot of armor here, and they are full armored. They are not weak at all, which means that the difficulty rating for this mission was super wrong.
Receiving you.
Each of these lances is a 3.5 skull lance by itself. It looks like.
Standing by.
You know, it happens.
All an ass.
It is interesting that it looks like they're splitting their force in half. I'm not really sure why they would do that, like what the benefit of that is. Nope, this one's coming back this way.
Reserving action.
They're... Sort of looks like they're just gonna let me do whatever I want to do here.
Standing by.
So if the Dragonfly had sensor lock, this would be a good time to use it. I guess I move up to here and get ready to do something horrible to them soon. We can jump down and blitz them, right?
Orders.
Boombox, you...
Move order received.
Was it this one that we already damaged?
Sensors locked on.
Yes, slightly.
Commander?
And this is
Affirmative.
really wild that they're just gonna sit back and let me do this. They certainly deserve it. On ammo bin. Yeah, there we go. Let's get this done quickly. I will absolutely shear the missile bays off of both of those catapults before we go in, if they give me the opportunity to do so. Nobody to blame but themselves.
Go, go, go!
Yep, they're just gonna wander back and forth down there, unable to path. This is a little embarrassing for them.
Good to go.
Yes, Commander.
So it doesn't really matter, I think, who does the sensor
On my
lock.
way.
Actually, I'm gonna let you brace. We're gonna sensor lock after that thing makes its move for the turn.
Commander?
Standing by.
This way we can guarantee the hits of as many missiles as possible.
Waiting for orders.
We are going to overheat soon. We cannot actually keep this up forever.
Right, Commander.
I have no idea what the other two mechs are still, too. I do not...
Receiving you.
It's not possible with the weights we're seeing here that they're anything we care about, right? I guess that 65 could be a Thunderbolt. Don't think I want to jump over while they're still as strong as they are. Not when we could take it easy. I don't think I've ever seen... Oh, hey, look at that. Guy backed up enough to actually have a shot. Including the ability to deal damage to a mech that he can't see, I'm fairly sure. Okay, they're going to start actually fighting us. We could probably just back up.
Damage is light.
My guess is we could probably just back up, but we could also commit.
Good to go.
Everybody has jump jets except for the guy who wants to stay up here, so
Leaving you.
maybe that's exactly the play.
Waiting for orders.
Let's see, if we run the Thunderbolt over here...
On my way.
Oh, you're kidding me. We're the tiniest, we're probably one heat over the threshold. That sucks. I mean, the 15's a fair amount more damage than the large laser, but also you can't guarantee... I think I want the increased chance of dealing 40 hull damage to one location here. Of course, it went across to the other side of the mech.
Armor's holding.
Yes.
It is probably worth remembering that we are going to leave this world after this, so
Ready
we
for orders.
have plenty of repair time. I'm gonna have you run up here and blast this dude.
Aye, aye.
Okay.
I think I did
Weapons
something
disabled. And it looks like we missed with the narc beacon, but, you know, whatever. That's a very whatever kind of moment. So, the fact that we care so much less about you now means that I probably want to... Oh, it's an archer. It's an archer, not another catapult. It's actually more dangerous than a catapult. Not within flamethrower range. Cannot get within flamethrower range. So we probably want to... Ooh, that rifleman's going to have a really hard time maintaining function. It's true of a lot of them, actually. I think we're going to go... Man. It sucks that this guy has bulwark. Maybe we just burrow through this dude. Yeah, let's do that. Well, but he's so overheated, he's not going to be able to fire anyway. You know what it is? It is this guy. Pretty sure. should start working. We'll get through eventually.
Reporting.
Penance mech actually has some reasonable targets here. Need to show your right side, and you need to get fairly close. And it's pretty important we get on that guy, and it looks like I really don't want to, I guess we could do it from here. Yeah, that's better. I really don't want to jump into the radiation field, obviously, because we're going to have enough trouble controlling the heat on this thing.
Firing jump jet.
Alright, let's just turn this guy off. And we'll give him the PPC.
Locking on.
Okay, that's a pretty good start. How badly damaged is that leg? Pretty badly.
Good to go.
Alright, so you are not able to get a stomp. That's a shame. We want to just try to kill this thing while we can. Because while it's just standing there stationary is a pretty good time to go for it. And my plan is going to be for the Orion to stomp here and the Penance Mech just to stomp absolutely anywhere that it can land. How much? So you only have 123. We might actually be better off trying to break the other leg with this mech. And then having somebody clean up the weak leg. I'm going to go for it. It's maybe a little risky. We get there? We did not get there. That's... Oh, you're kidding me.
Receiving you.
Well, if we overheat it again, the leg will melt. So that's fun. Do we want the Penance Mech to attempt a stomp now? Or do we want to just go to the back of this guy, coolant vent, and hit him with the everything? Kind of think that's where I'm at. A little dangerous to jump this close to this many enemies. I guess only 2 of them are going to get turns. The Archer's definitely going to punch because we're going to overheat the hell out of it, provided this actually works. I'm going to go for it. It's dangerous. Can I go? No, I need to be in the back arc. We'll get those stomps soon. Don't worry about it. I don't want to expose my left side, but I also don't want it to be too easy for the Thunderbolt to shoot me in the back. Right, coolant vent. Precision strike, back center. Still too hot. Jesus Christ. PPCs are such garbage weapons. Alright, good hit rate on the Infernos. Not as good as I was hoping, though.
Power up detected.
Good to go.
Interesting that that was their first choice. I guess to prevent me from continuing to get free aimed shots. Camera, play along a little bit, huh? I am thinking... It would be best if we could get a side arc shot on that guy, because his legs will not stand up to too much punishment. So I think we'll run around here. I need to not fire all the guns anyway. This is probably not going to do it. Okay, we did take a gun off.
Commander.
A pair of guns off. And he's very unstable now.
Not much armor left in that location.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, you kind of don't have a lot of armor left in any locations. Well, I think we're gonna shut off the Archer. I think that's probably the smart play here. We don't have to deal with its extraordinary weapon systems. Although, maybe I could just kill it? What's it got left? 107? 107's a lot.
Jumping.
It's certainly doable. But without aim, I think we're best off just turning it off. Okay, that's pretty great.
Reporting. Critical hit.
So we've opened up the whole back of that mech. I think he's pretty much done for. Yep, there's a not very surprising melee attack. Of course, it found center.
They've blown past my armor.
Boombox is absolutely just stomping this guy.
We can do this! Let's go!
Right, here is your moment. Go ahead and just jump on him. I don't think I want to hit this... Well, I mean, if I hit the front, it could potentially hit either leg. So I guess the side limits the number of spots where the jump doesn't deal any damage.
Engaging jump jet.
Okay, there we go.
That's a kill.
We're still getting there. We don't need the difficulty modifiers. It's not... What happened was not a shot getting past your armor. Try to keep up. Okay, this DFA looks pretty great, except... Is there a way to do this without leaving my backside available to everyone? No, not really. And your back armor's not fantastically thick. I mean, nobody here melee attacks for 115, but he actually will be able to use all of his guns and everything. It's the archer's right side that's open, so I guess I could just go in here. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll do. It's not awesome. I'm going to Vigilance. Just for a little bit more safety. Okay. And that is everyone now having stomped. Well, I broke my leg, because I'd already taken a bunch of leg damage. But, what was I gonna do? Not please the blood wheel? I was really hoping we would hit center there. Yep, so that's 2 knockdowns. This mech does have an injury reduction cockpit, so Sourdough's at least not going to be, like, hurt off of that.
Commander?
But now we're done playing games. Now we can be on full 100% kill mode at all times. So let's do that. Let's do full 100% kill mode at all times. Let's have you fall back a little bit and set a fire inside of this guy. And by a fire, obviously, I mean with lasers. Using lasers.
Got the angle. Taking the shot. Hostile eliminated.
Okay, one problem solved. That's some very embarrassing shooting.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
Yeah, that Orion's seen better days, though, for sure. So, we can use heat to control the rifleman still. We could use heat to control either of them, I guess. It doesn't really matter how we do this. We're not going to be able to fire... We're only going to be able to fire one weapon, right?
Right, Commander.
Okay, she agrees. Yes, that's an accurate assessment, Commander. Okay, well, we destroyed a body part that doesn't matter. We can get a pretty okay knockdown here. Pretty likely knockdown. Am I about to throw a punch? Think so. Dangerous to do, but it'll knock this guy over and push him down the initiative order and mess up his whole day. Please don't miss this. Okay. Whew. Also, lasers. So 70 center torso health. Managed to get both of the legs almost dead, which is a real shame. Okay, that's enough of that. You are in horrible shape.
Commander?
Alright, so, the Dragonfly. I guess let's start with the Thunderbolt.
Moving to position.
We'll go at you. Can I turn on the 15? You know what? The Thunderbolt's in fine shape. I'm going to overheat on purpose. Did we seriously not get the job done? How are you guys so bad at this?
You could fry an egg in here.
Alright, Alright, you gotta stand up. And probably just run away. To be any kind of safe at all. Actually can't run away. Okay, well, put the right side toward him and fire that AC-10 once, and it's got to do the job.
Firing on target. That
Okay.
didn't hit.
No, somehow.
Commander.
Somehow you missed. Again. Oh, I think we're going for a punch here. On this guy, because I think we have to turn this guy off.
On the move.
So here goes the last of the flamethrower fuel.
Engaging.
I do love that all going center. It's got 13 center torso health.
My framer is empty.
His heat levels probably almost killed him there. Yes, he's very, very low. Also, ammo bins. Undetonated ammo bins. Ow. And they're both so...
Went internal.
They're both so close to dead.
There, Commander. Reporting.
Okay, you gotta finish this. This has to end. So go over to his right side and just give him whatever. Just do something. Okay, there we go. Melt his center torso if you have to.
Down. Orders.
You just leave. Just run away from the battle. Shooting that guy in the front is not going to accomplish anything anyway.
Battle mech power up detected.
But I'm pretty sure we don't have to do anything here other than have the dragonfly shoot center torso with every weapon he's allowed to fire.
Firing at enemy.
Okay, finally. That took forever. What a miserable mission.
That's a kill.
I was like, you know we're only 40 minutes into the episode. Shouldn't be a problem to just do one more real quick. Maybe we'll go over by like 5 minutes. Ugh. Lunar missions where you gotta fight 8 people. It's a rough situation. Okay, so we're gonna have no useful loot at all from this. It's gonna be a bunch of garbage. Oh, that's right, we took 0-3, so we're gonna get randomly selected. Bad garbage, too. Repairs are necessary, but no components of value were lost. Wow. LRM 20 plus 2 damage is just incredibly lucky loot. What a good pull. Very hard to complain about that. Listen to me. Trying to find a way. I would complain about it if there were any way at all. Okay, so I think what we're probably going to do is just fly to that other nearby Lyran, that other nearby world that potentially has Lyran missions on it. Because at this point, all we need is one high difficulty mission. One reasonably high difficulty mission. Even a 3.5, it looks like, might be good enough. Right? I did math right there? Yes, 83. Okay. So, not too far off of completing that, and that'll be another 10,000 points when we get that bar full. And then we still have some distance to make up on the other stuff. The Free Worlds League is not so far off, but who knows how many planets we'll have to visit to actually find those missions. Things are looking a little grim, score-wise. I mean, obviously, we're not in any danger of, losing or anything. But is there anything more shameful than getting a low score in a video game? I ask you. No, seriously, I've lost all sense of proportion. I have no idea. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time. We are drawing up on the end of this thing. It's coming close. And we have so much to do. So much left to do before then. Come back next time to see us take one more step. And we'll see you then.